Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today I'd like to show you how I made this pretty Christmas card using vellum, Night of Navy, and silver. What you need to make this card is I used a piece of Night of Navy, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I used a piece of Whisper White, 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside, a piece for this raised panel on the front that measures 4 3/4 by 3 1/2, and then a piece of vellum that measures 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. Then I have a piece here that is 3 1/4 by 1 in silver, and the navy blue piece that fits on this is 3 inches by 3/4 of an inch. And that's what we need to make this. Now, the stamps that I'm using today come from the Christmas Pines Christmas set, and I'm using Christmas Blessings from there for the inside, Season of Joy, also from this stamp. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get started. Let's see, the other thing I'm using is the folder here that has the trees, and what I did was I set my piece of vellum inside here, and I made sure that the vellum was set in here in such a way that it had some trees here, some tree stalks at the bottom, and that along either side, if I needed to trim down, there was not a whole big tree, but sort of a more blank space in case I had to trim down on the sides. So, and to save time, I've already run my piece, and here it is. And running this through, it sounds a little crunchy when you're running this through your Big Shot, and what you get is this beautiful frosted look. So let me just show you the, let's see, the only other thing that I'm using is from the Year of Cheer designer washi tape, which is now going on sale because it's going to be retired here soon, as I use this little silver to get this silver band around the outside here of our navy blue piece. So let's just get started here. I'm going to take this Night of Navy piece, and I am going to fold and burnish my score line here. There we go, and have that all ready to go. And then the work I'm going to be doing is on this piece right now, and that is I'm going to take some of this silver washi tape as soon as I find the end here. There it is. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my silicone mat to get myself set up here. And what I want to do is stretch this washi tape right along the edge of my navy blue piece here, so that I can just snip the ends on both sides here and wrap that around the back of the card. There we go. All right, and I'm going to do that around all 4 sides. Well, that was a little trickier than I expected. I didn't have any of that challenge when I was doing this on the prototype. But getting it right along the edge, I don't know whether my light is bad or what. I just had a difficulty seeing. But you can set it right along the edge and get that set. Okay, very good. Now, I already have run my vellum, and once you do this, this card is actually very quick. I'll set my washi tape aside. Here, move it out of the way. And this piece needs to be trimmed down just a little, because on this one, I left a little bit of a border around the edge, and as I look at this, I think I like that a little bit better. So, having put that, like I said, in the folder so that I had a little bit of an edge that was easy to trim, is going to be helpful here. So I am going to trim right down to the edge where the tree is there. That's going to give me a little bit of a border, and I think it might be easier to trim along the top here, and I'm going to take a 1/4 of an inch off there. And I may need to take just a hair off of this other side as well to mimic that 1/4 of an inch. Let's see how we did. Okay, so my vellum started to tear, and I think that's going to be fine. We'll still be able to put the card together. So now I've got that nice border around my Night of Navy, and you'll see what I'm going to do to take care of this little piece. Vellum is more delicate than cardstock, and running it through even the embossing folder can be troublesome. Now, because I'm going to put a nice big tag onto this part here, I know that I can put adhesive all the way across this, roughly here on the vellum. And let me grab my adhesive, and this will give me a guide of where I can lay that adhesive down. And then I'll show you how I get some additional adhesive on this piece in order to have it stick down to the card. Okay, that now I can take off and place this piece on my card. Like that. Now, what I'm going to use to stick this down more firmly, and I'm going to put a glue dot right under this area that it looks like it was starting to split. So I'm going to take a glue dot here, and I am going to pick this up and put it down right here so I capture both sides of that split. And you'll be able to see here how this adhesive is showing through the vellum. That is not going to end up being a problem for us, and I'll show you how I counter that as an issue. I'm going to put a glue dot right down here in the corner, one in this corner, maybe in just a little bit, and I'll show you why I'm doing that here in a second, because I'm going to put some embellishments over the top of wherever I put the glue dots down, and that's going to hide those glue dots in place. Okay, so the next thing I can do is go ahead and put my sentiment in place here, and that will cover that large piece of glue that I've got down there. And I'm just going to use snail for that, and go ahead and put that in place. And I'm having it, you know, I took it off the card here, and I'm not sure I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to put it just so that it goes to the end of this panel here on this one and put that into place. Now, what I did was I used these little silver metal enamel dots, and I put stars, since this is mimicking kind of a night sky here. And what I did was, where I had put glue dots down, I put a little enamel star over the place where I had put a glue dot here to hide that adhesive from the other side. So I'm putting those in place. Normally I'd wait till the end, but it bothers me to see those glue dots. So here we go. I'm putting that one in place. Now, then we have to take our piece of Night of Navy and get my Pierce mat out here, because the stamp I'm using is photopolymer. And put down my piece of Night of Navy, and I'm going to use my embossing buddy on it. Then I've got some Vellum, Versamark, and my stamp set. And let's see, this stamp is the one that says Christmas Blessings. It's a nice big blocky print, and I kind of like the chunkiness of that one. And I'm going to get some Versamark on that and put that down right in the center. The other thing I liked about this sentiment is it went all the way across my page here. And there we go. I have a Christmas Blessings down. Now I have here some silver embossing powder with a nice back to a dimensional in it. And I'm going to put my embossing powder on my sentiment there. Plenty of it on there. There we go. And move that out of the way and get my embossing heat tool out here, and I'll quiet the video while I heat up this sentiment on my Night of Navy piece, and I will move this out of the way. Let's see, maybe I'll just leave it here and do my other stamping as long as I'm at it. I have this other piece, and you can see that on the inside of this I put Season of Joy, a couple of these stars, and a little piece of silver. So I'm going to take my piece that I'm going to use for the inside, and I've got my Night of Navy ink here, and I'm going to ink this up. Make sure I've got plenty of ink. It's really nice when you're using a photopolymer because you can even see if you've got it inked up properly. Okay, so this I'm going to set right in the middle, hopefully straight. And I've got my Season of Joy for the inside. And so that will be all ready to do, and I think that's the end of my stamping. So I will move, almost the end of my stamping anyway. So I'll move my stamps out of the way here and put my Versamark away. Now I'm going to get some of that powder off, the embossing powder, and I just use my hands to kind of wipe that away. All right, I'm going to bring my piece back here, and I'm going to put a little bit of snail on the back of this piece, here. And put that into place on our little frame here. Trying to get that nice and straight before I push it down. There we go. And let's see, I think I took one more star out of my little stars here. I like these because they're a little bit flatter, and they don't raise alarms at the post office. Okay, so here is my card front, and this is ready to go on my card front. So I am just going to use a little bit of snail here on the back of my panel and center that piece. You know, I think I raised that on dimensionals. So I guess I will be adding dimensionals instead. Have you ever done that before, where you put your glue on and then realize that you need dimensionals? Well, in that case, I'm going to put a few extra dimensionals because I don't want that glue to catch and drag this piece down. So I'm probably using more than I would ordinarily, just to make sure that that glue doesn't catch. There we go. Now I'm going to add my piece to the inside. So let's see, how many stars did I put on that? Okay, it looks like I put one here, and then I put 3, and I also put a piece of washi tape, which I did not put on here. So I'll grab my little silver washi tape and see if I can correct that. You can take my advice and put this on at the same time you're putting the other washi tape on. Save yourself a little bit of angst later. There we go. All right, so I'm going to set this little piece of washi tape right along this edge here. And I'm going to snip it here, try to get that straight. See if I can lift this edge and fold that piece around to the back. And the same thing on this side. Lift that edge and slide that in. Okay, I got away with it. All right, now I'm going to take 3 stars down here and just put them into place, and our card will be done. I told you, it's really a simple little card and goes pretty fast. There we go. There we have our project for the day. So let me move a few of these things out of the way so we can take a look at the final results. And I think it is simple and yet has an excellent impact. I love the frosted nature of it. You know, I also think, as I look at this, this would make an absolutely fabulous men's birthday or thank you card, wouldn't it? Because there's nothing feminine about it. The trees in the background, this could easily say happy birthday or thank you or thinking of you or anything, and sent to a guy and would be absolutely perfect. So that is the project for the day. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do appreciate it. Anything that you see here can be purchased on my 24/7 shop, www.lbedinger.stampinup.net. And now's a really good time to go on the website for Stampin' Up, because this is, with a month to go to when the holiday catalog it is no longer. They put the retired list up on there, and so there's things, and it's while supplies last, and they go pretty fast, but they're retiring almost everything out of that catalog. I went through and looked this morning. There's a couple of dies that will make it through to the new annual catalog, and a couple of other things, but the vast majority of things will be being retired. And so now is a really good time, because some of it's on clearance, definitely, and you can take advantage, and sort of it's a good stash builder time. So and if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator, and or you could join my team. I had a lady contact me recently who was hoping to get on my team during the no shipping, and I've reached out to her, and there is no shipping on your $99 for $125 worth of product when you join Stampin' Up!, and there's no shipping on the $40 worth of product that you get from me as well. So even in normal times, you get $165 worth of material with no shipping from me and from Stampin' Up! To join my team. And sometimes it's a good thing to wait. After the first of the year, there is going to be an additional incentive, and I think it's 2 free stamp sets of your choice. So depending on how elaborate those stamp sets are, that could be anywhere from another $40 to $60 in product, so you can get darn near $200 worth of product for the $99 during the celebration and the first 3 months of 2018. In any case, that's it for me today. I'll be back soon with more projects and more cards. Bye!